Well, after a foggy start this morning, the fog finally breaking up and we see some blue skies and sunshine, or could it be the fact that we have Bill Allen here? We'll let you decide. Good morning, Bill. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Bill from Joe Taylor Ford joining us here this morning, and it's got to be a pretty busy summer for you guys. You've had a lot of things going on at the dealership with the remodeling and just getting ready for just a big year.
That's right. It's been a busy summer, busy, like actually winter, spring, and now into summer. We finally have all our renovations done. Place looks great. Parking lot's been completely redone. Building's been completely refaced. Showroom's been freshened up. Lots of new product, inventory that we've not had in a long time. A lot of inventory. A lot of good rebates right now. A lot of good incentives right now. Now is a great time to buy. Used car values are an all-time high, so your trade's worth a lot of money, and we certainly could use some good trades.
Now, people might not realize this, but you did most of the construction work yourself.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we had it done by contractors.
I mean you. There's pictures of you on ladders. And
well, there's a lot of false rumors running around. And there's a little guy running around with a camera that sometimes tries to make people look like things they don't do. Okay. But we won't mention any names. But I'm not into the construction business. I'd rather sell automobiles.
No, there's a lot of myths about buying cars. Well, the best time's the end of the month. The best time's the end of the year. But the incentives have been so good that really any time is a good time to go in.
That's correct. I mean, right now, the market's strong on your trade. The incentives are good from the manufacturer. The selection is great. Interest rates are very low, whether you do Ford financing or do competitive bank financing or credit union financing. There's a lot of ways that you can finance that car. Leasing has become very popular again. A lot of good lease programs to put people in new cars. It's just a good time right now.
With the economy the way it's been the last handful of years, some folks are saying, maybe I haven't worked a steady job in a long time, or maybe I just started a new job, or things have been tough. I'm not really quite sure I can, maybe afford a payment, or there's so many unknowns. Those people might be good candidates to come in and just sit down and talk to you guys, because there's a lot of creative ways of working with people and their budgets today.
That's correct. I mean, you can look at different facets. If people are steady and pay their bills and do things correctly, they're going to be able to be financed. It's the banks want to lend money, the car companies want to lend money, the dealers and the car companies want to sell cars, and now's the time to do it, because your car's worth the most it'll be worth today. They never get worth more money. They always depreciate, and with the incentives where they are, that makes up a lot of the difference that people are short or need as down payment money.
And folks who go online and they're searching for vehicles, the best thing to do is, if you find something, is to still come in and sit down and actually have that one-on-one conversation with you.
That's correct. You can do a lot of things over the internet. You can do a lot of things online. You can do a lot of things via paper, but you really need to sit down with a person and do face-to-face and put the whole structure together and let people know where you're at and what you're looking for. And then if we don't have exactly what you're looking for, we'd be more than happy to try and find it.
Of course, the face-to-face thing is good, too, because then the folks get in and they actually get to see the product as well.
Correct. You get to see, touch, feel, drive, look at what you're after, see the difference between the different products, one model to another model, a different level of trim from one model to another model. And you can't see that on a picture. You have to really touch, see, and feel. You get to drive it. You get to see what it rides like. See if you have enough room for your family. See if it'll do what you want it to do.
And then there's the technology that are in the vehicles, too. Folks have to be able to understand that as well and see it.
Exactly. I mean, we've added more technology, more electronics. Cars will do things for you today that they would never do before. With the hands-free phones, the sync, you play music through your radio. We have cars with memory seats, heated steering wheels, instant vision, adaptive cruise control, integrated braking. I mean, it's all there, and you can't see that in a picture. You have to really experience it and see how it works when you drive it.
Is it best to go along when somebody test drives a vehicle to answer questions, or is it best to let that person or family venture out? Because there's a lot of features like you just mentioned that I would think I'd have no idea. I came here this morning in my horse in carriage, so some of these features would be new to me.
So then you are Amish.
Slightly.
Slightly? So you're the reason for the mess in the parking lot?
Oh, I am sorry about that. I will. The city gets on my case all the time.
All the time. But you're absolutely correct. A salesperson needs to go in the demo ride with the customer, show him the features, let him experience those features. Once you learn them, they're easy to operate. But to send somebody out and not know where those features are, what those functions are, I think you're doing a disservice to them, and you're doing a disservice to yourself by not showing them those things so that they actually enjoy those features once they get them.
I was just thinking about this because you guys also have the service department end of things, and it seems to me there might not be as much pride in owning a vehicle today as there maybe was 20, 30 years ago. I mean, people drive their cars hard today. They ride them hard. Mm-hmm. So brakes go. There's other things that can go when you are maybe they don't check oil. Maybe they don't know how to check oil anymore. I don't know. But obviously, with the service department at Joe Taylor Ford, that's an opportunity to not only sell somebody a vehicle, but it's a chance to take care of them throughout the lifetime of that car.
I'm a firm believer that you should take your car back to the dealership you bought it from and have them service it, because they know what they're looking for as far as what might potentially be wrong with the car. They're aware of the any service bulletins or any things that might need updated on the car, and if there are any recalls on the car, they'll pull it up. When they register your car in service, they pull what we call an OASIS, and that gives us a list of any open recalls or any service bulletins that need done on the car, so that we could keep your car in operating condition. Because you're absolutely right. People drive further, they run them harder, we drive faster, and we keep them longer because we've become a society where we've gone to longer term financing in order to make the car affordable, so they keep the car longer.
I'm still amazed sometimes when I hear people say, "Oh man, my car's getting up to 200,000 miles," as if that's like the end of the vehicle's life, when in fact it goes way beyond that if you take care of your car.
That's absolutely right. We see cars in our service department with 250, 300,000 miles on, but these cars have been maintained on a regular schedule the whole time the people have owned the car. Keep the oil changed, check the belts, check the hoses, rotate the tires, keep them inspected. I'm like everybody else. Nobody wants to spend money to fix something, but if I fix it early and fix it when it's small, it doesn't become a big problem later. And if you let it go, it never gets better.
Well, and I think Mark's a good point to that. He's 95 and he's taking care of himself, so he's doing all right.
Knew he was going to live this long, so he took care of himself.
That's the first compliment I've gotten today.
Really?
Maybe this year. So yeah, and again, when somebody comes in and buys a vehicle, they know that they're going to be taken care of, not just when they are in there at the moment, but after the fact, which I think is probably a pretty comforting thing today. And you open the hood and you have no idea what's in there anymore.
Well, and you open the hood now and everything's covered, and you see 3 or 4 little yellow buttons that are important to you, whether it be the oil check or the washer fluid or where you put oil in or where the battery terminals are, and everything else is covered from there, and you really don't, most people don't know where to start and where to stop from there.
Yeah.
And we're very fortunate at Joe Taylor Ford. We have a service department who has service manager, service writers, warranty administrators that have over 50 years in the business combined. We have mechanics with over 100 years combined service in the business, all certified technicians, and most all of them only worked on Fords most all their life. The parts department, we have 2 good people in the parts department with almost 50 years between the 2 of them. And if you add up the sales department in the front, we probably have, without the owner being involved in that number, we probably have over 120 years in service.
Wow. So I got to ask you, this is the big question of the day, that check engine light.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something to take seriously?
I think it is. If the car's not running and stumbling, you're okay for a little while, but you should check it because it can do a lot of internal harm, and you need to have that checked so that you don't cost yourself more money. What do they say? An ounce of cure is worth a pound of prevention.
There you go.
You know.
All right. So if that little light comes on and you think, that's just a joke light.
Yeah, don't get the black tape and cover it up.
Oh, okay.
That's not going to work because the problem's not going to go away.
You must see some interesting vehicles come onto the lot.
Oh, we see all kinds, and some of them are scary.
Should somebody be afraid if they say, "Man, I've had this vehicle for 30 years. I'm afraid to take it in for trade because I don't know what I'd get for it. I don't want to be laughed at."
No, everything has a value,
okay.
and if a car has been well maintained, you're going to suffer the forces of depreciation no matter what you buy. But your car still has value and still worth something. And if you've had it 25 or 30 years, you've gotten the life out of that at a pretty small price compared to what it would cost to replace it today.
Now, going back to the renovations of the building, this just isn't renovation work. It's more than that. It's an investment back into the community. It's a commitment to the community and to the folks who work there, to the folks who buy vehicles there. And that is kind of a nice lead into the big anniversary month coming up.
Yeah, in August, we're going to celebrate our 13th anniversary. And on August 7th, from 4 to 8 o'clock, we're going to have a cruise in. We want everybody to bring their cars down, sign up, get your free gift, sign up for the door prizes. We're going to have a barbecue going on from 4 to 8. That's going to be done by Eddie's Barbecue for the participants and the public. And we're just going to have a big party that day. We really want to see everybody come down, look at our product, check out the incentives, take rides, look at stuff, and just have a good time.
And you're on Route 257,
right,
which is one of the most heavily traveled roads in Venango County. People are going to have not but much choice to see what you're doing.
Absolutely. We're just about a mile north of the mall on 257, right next to World of Wheels and the school maintenance building.
And I believe you're going to have a classic car cruise?
Yes. Yep. We're going to have a car cruise that night from 4 to 8. We want everybody to bring their car down. We prefer Fords, but we'll take any model.
What's a classic car that you would just absolutely love to be in?
Myself?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd probably like to have a 55, 6, or 7 Thunderbird.
Ooh.
I like that year.
They were
the fun car. Then I probably would go to maybe a 67 Mustang.
That's funny you should mention that. My very first car was a 68 Mustang. Loved the car, kicked myself when I got rid of it. Absolutely loved it.
They were fun cars.
He keeps telling me color doesn't matter in a vehicle. You get somebody in a car and they can fall in love with it. They might come in thinking, I want blue, I want white, I want whatever. But if if that color's not there and another color is, but you get them into it, they can change their mind easily.
Some people will go colorblind for options or price, but it's funny when you look at vehicles and you look at different colors. Some colors make the car look smaller. Some colors make the car look more attractive. Some cars look fun. Some cars look old. Some people are hung up on color. Other people are hung up on features and benefits, and it all depends on the consumer. But there's a lot of people that come in looking for red and drive home in silver. Why they do that, I don't know. If you figure the public buyer out, you're doing better than I have.
Well, that's going to be a sort of a fun challenge, though, is working with somebody when they come in. Because I would imagine, and again, everybody's different, but somebody comes in and you know that person wants to leave right now with the car that they want. Mm-hmm. And somebody else might come in and think about it, or well, that's a nice color, but I was really hoping for the, and there's probably some time spent working with those folks. But again, I think it would be a fun challenge for you to think how am I going to approach this person?
It is. It's interesting that some people are ready to take the plunge, so to speak, right now. They want to take it home with them. They want to touch, see, feel, drive. Let's do it right now. And then there are other people who procrastinate and, well, let's think about it, and, well, we'll do it, and don't show any excitement. But the ones that show the excitement, and when you start in and you start showing them the different features, they build more excitement, and they get more involved in the buying purchase and have to have it right now. And it's interesting to me that a lot of people come in looking for one thing and go home with something totally different than they started out with. And that happens a lot.
That was always kind of fun. I've sold cars for a little while, and to establish the rapport, I always enjoyed talking with people and showing them product out on the lot, and thinking that they wanted something, and then asking them in casual conversation, well, have you ever thought of? And they would say no, but that looks like a really good idea, you know. And it's nice to have that kind of interaction.
That's right, and it happens a lot. People will come in, like I say, looking for one thing, and we're fortunate. We have a great selection right now, so there's lots of product to look at. You can compare them side by side and see which one works best for your needs. And when you see the features in that car and what this car will do for you versus this car, or a lot of times they'll have the thought process that they don't want anything to do with that, but once they see it, it changes their mind and their thoughts.
We're here with Bill Allen from Joe Taylor Ford. Big event coming up August 7th. Barbecue Classic Car Cruise. Lots of vehicles to test drive. That's, again, August 7th at Joe Taylor Ford. This is The Morning Drill on Stream Television and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. And touching back upon that point there, Mark, I think we've had this conversation before as well. Somebody comes in thinking that they want a certain thing, but really they don't know what they want, or they want the big thing with the loaded features, but their budget is really small. Yeah. So, Bill, I'm sure you got to spend some time trying to figure out what those parameters are for somebody and what makes sense for that person.
That's correct. You have to, when you talk to the salesperson and the salesperson talks to the customer, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, needs, wants, use, all of that figures into the equation, and what can we make work for what they want and what they want to spend, or what they can spend. And so you may take them from a big vehicle, you might take them from a Taurus to a Fusion, and you can offer them more equipment, may have better incentives today, and make the whole package work when they didn't even consider that, but they wanted to just replace what they had. And unfortunately, today manufacturers are taking the old product and they're redoing it, but it doesn't match up well because they've changed the size or the features, or they've taken a car and they've upgraded it. I mean, I look at our lower end, what I call lower end cars or smaller cars, Focus and Fiesta, and 10 years ago they were key and a heater and a radio, and down the road you went, and now they have all the features that the big car has. So you can buy a nicely equipped Focus for what you can buy a base Fusion. And when you factor in the incentives, you may wind up spending less money with more equipment, and it may do what they want to do.
Wow. You brought up the Taurus. Man, I'll tell you what, that thing has evolved over the last couple of years. That's incredible.
It is. And so is the Fusion, and so is the Focus. I mean, you look at our car line. Our car line has improved and become very nice over the last 5 years. We've put a lot of features in, a lot of comfort, a lot of bells and whistles, all of the things that used to be in top-end cars that weren't in a vanilla car. And I always thought Ford and competitive Chevrolet were just bread and butter, working man, competitive cars, but now they all have the features that we had before.
Wow. So the best thing to do is really stop out, sit down with you or any of the sales folks, and just have a conversation.
Exactly. I think you'll find everybody should enjoy the experience at Joe Taylor Ford because we operate with no pressure. You come in, you sit down, we spend time talking. Hopefully we sell you something. That's our goal. We want you to drive away in a new product or a used product from Joe Taylor Ford. But spend time and touch, see, feel, and figure out what you need, what you want, and where you're at, and then go from there. We, like I say, no pressure, no hassle. We're disappointed if you leave and don't buy something, but we trust you'll come back and try us again.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the big event coming up August 7th. It's the big anniversary month, so, I mean, it's just going to be a big month for you guys.
Correct. There'll be door prizes, giveaways. Like I said, car cruise from 4 to 8 on the 7th, barbecue that night. We should have a fun party, and we want everybody to come and enjoy it.
All right. Bill Allen, thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me again.
And thanks for bringing that sunshine.
You're welcome. What do you want next time?
Sunshine.
Yeah, let's go with more sunshine.
Hold
Yeah,
that order.
yeah, and get lots of pictures of the event. Are you going to be there? Oh, good. So yeah,
We'll
hopefully
bring
we'll
lots
have
of pictures.
Excellent. All righty, Mark. Busy day for you. You got a meeting tonight. We're going to be covering a groundbreaking in Meadville this morning. What did you learn today?
Wow. I learned about Oliver and the show that starts tonight. I knew that it was coming up, but I didn't know how great it was. And you got some good footage of it. We got to see that.
All righty. Bill, what'd you learn today?
I learned that it's a great day to be alive. We're just enjoying life, and we want everybody to enjoy it just like we do.
Excellent. I learned that not only will you have the barbecue there, and you will be personally grilling, right? The barbecue.
That's absolutely right.
All right.
Yep.
I'll see your hands in there
Yep.
working. But the classic car cruise is going to be a part of that. So that's going to be a fun event, August 7th. But that's just a couple weeks away.
It's not far.
No.
It's
Wow.
going fast.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for Daybreak News and the morning drill from 7 to 9. Enjoy that sunshine.
Don't shine.